It's time for Tarot for Kindness, and it's just me and the Love Witch in the background running the really. I think the Love Witch is the puppet master, and I'm the puppet. Is that what it is, Buchanan? So anyway, it's me and the Love Witch here today. Poor Yvonne has. We're both puppets. The Love Witch. Yvonne has a cough and a fever. So Yvonne's going to be resting and sleeping and trying to get better. But it's okay because we're going to be seeing you in just a few days. We're not going to be a week because this is our last Wednesday that we're doing this. And next Sunday we're going to be moving. We're going to be moving it to Sunday, and it's going to pop up next Sunday about this time. It might be a little slightly later. It'll be after the Magical Mystery Marketplace, which is coming on Sunday. We'll be doing this. Oh, and Love Witch, I have to talk with you afterwards. Remind me that we have to decide if we're going to just do it as one long stream or two separate streams. I don't know what to do. We'll talk about this after the stream today. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome. Welcome to Tarot for Kindness. This is just me today. Yvonne has got a cough and he's resting and recuperating. He said I'd be coughing more than talking, so I don't think it's a good idea. Plus, he has a fever. I mean, he is really, I think he maybe has COVID or something, but he definitely has some coughing illness and he needs to rest. So he is not joining us today, but he will be with us next Sunday if he improves and his cough improves. So what we do here is we do tarot readings. I do tarot readings live on this stream. We stream on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. These streams, because it's a stream and it's a live stream, we are doing it as a fundraiser to help seniors in Ukraine. 100% of the donations go to help feed seniors in Ukraine. And we have, I forgot my phone in the other room, but I'll be fine. I'm a little nervous because I can't look at my Venmo, but I think I'll be fine. Anyway, we do these donations. You make a donation, $10 per card, and I do a reading for you. That's what this is. This is an opportunity for me to do a reading for you. Maybe you need to check in on something and you don't need a full half hour or 45-minute reading. You just want a little check-in. Well, this is the perfect opportunity for that. You can ask, how is something going? Where is something headed? This is a great way that you can get that little check-in with the tarot without having to commit to a full reading. And we have been doing this every Wednesday, but we're moving to Sunday starting this coming Sunday. So we'll be seeing you on Sunday from now on. So if you have a question and you'd like a tarot card reading, I am using the Silver Acorn Tarot today. We're using this beautiful deck. Oh, I have it upside down. Oh no, some of the cards are upside down, just the top card. Yeah, so oh my gosh, you guys. I'm very tired. I woke up at 5:30 this morning, so I'm really tired. So you'll have to forgive me if I do a little, I have a little moment in there. Anyway, if you'd like to have a reading by me, you can. All you have to do is make a donation through Venmo or PayPal. And or you could do a super chat. If you're on YouTube, you can do the super chat down below. $10 per card, and 100% of the proceeds go to feed seniors in Ukraine. I think I want to start out by doing while we're waiting for those donations to come in, I thought I'd start out by doing a little collective reading for the week. Why don't we do that? Since we're here, and since I got a deck of cards, let's do a collective reading. See what's going on in the zeitgeist. This is not how I usually do a reading, by the way. Meaning I don't usually do readings for the week for everybody, but we might as well do it. Give it a go, right? What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. So let's see what's going on for all of us this week. I'm going to pull 3 cards for us because I'm just that way. If you'd like a reading, go ahead and you can donate through PayPal, donate $10 per card. You can donate $10, $20, $30, whatever you want, $40, $50, whatever you want. Or you can donate through Super Chat, or you can donate through Venmo. So the links will pop up so that you can do it. All right, let's take a look at the collective. We'll do a 3-card pull. Oh, what is in the air? What is in the air? What is in the air for us? Oh, really interesting. Huh. It's like self-care week this week. We got to do some self-care this week. That's a good theme for this week. It's like mental health self-care this week is what we're seeing. All right, first card that comes up for the collective is the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is the pure essence of air. I just talked about this card because I'm doing the audiobook for Magical Tarot, which is the reissue of Madame Pamita's Magical Tarot. And I read about the aces, and it's so fun to read your writing when you haven't read it in like 5, 6 years. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, forgot I wrote that. That's pretty good. Anyway, Ace of Swords is really about the pure essence of air. Well, air schmear. What does air mean? Well, air is about thoughts, ideas, and communication. I mean, if you think about it, when we talk about something, we're pushing air out. So this is really about all kinds of communication, not just verbal communication. It could be written communication, electronic messages, all those things. Even I think of things like visuals as being communication, symbols as being communication. So it doesn't even have to be words that we're communicating with. So sometimes when I see swords cards come up, it could mean art or music or other forms of transmitting a message. But basically, we could say that this is about ideas, thoughts, the rational mind, and transmitting that information. Now, if that card comes up with the aces are really like the pure essence of the suit, the pure essence of the suit. And so when we see an ace of swords come up, we're talking about the absolutely pure essence of thoughts and ideas and mental work. So this week is going to be a lot of mental stuff for you, everyone collectively. We're all thinking and we're all talking. Now, I would say to you, use your words in ways like this is, I'm a big advocate of making magic a part of your everyday life. Like magic should not be reserved for just special occasions. Magic should be so integrated into your day to day life that you're doing magic all the time and you don't have to really think about doing magic. You don't have to do something big and dramatic to do magic. I mean, that is one part of magic, ritual and big rites and big spells and all of those things. But I think about the beautiful little things that we can do every day. So, Ace of Swords is saying to you, two, pay attention to your thoughts. What are you thinking? Can you shift your thoughts? Right? So, I have been working on that today, actually, myself, because I was having thoughts of worry about something, and I would take that worried thought and I would then I would make a real hard break out of the worry and get into what I wanted to happen. And I did that and I do that by speaking the word out loud of the thing that I want. So my mind might be dipping into all of my anxiety, all of my worry, all of my stress. But if I want to break that cycle that feels like a little hamster wheel going on in my head, I say the thing I want. All is well. Everything will work out. This is not going to be a problem. All of those things, because worry is at the very least a waste of our time. If we're worrying about the future, why are we worrying about the future? The future isn't here yet. Let's see what happens first. So when I get into that state of thinking like a little hamster wheel and getting into my anxiety, because I am a person who suffers from anxiety, so very easy for me to dip into that, I break that hamster wheel cycle by speaking what it is that I want. I say a spell, an incantation, or an affirmation, whatever you want to call it, or prayer, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing. They are all spells. And by speaking it out loud, you really wake yourself up and you break out of that cycle, that repetitive cycle of worry. So, good advice for you this week is to really monitor your thoughts. Not like you have to sit there and think about your thoughts all the time, but if you feel that your thoughts are dipping into a place that you don't want them to dip into, break that cycle by speaking out loud what it is that you do want. And that's great advice for all of us and really shows up with this. So, this week the rest of this week till Sunday is going to be about like paying attention to your thoughts, paying attention to that, and paying attention to what you say as well. I mean, when we think about this idea of the power of air and the power of the element of air and swords, we also can think about the power of our words as well. So you can do all the candle spells in the world, but if you're undoing your candle spell by speaking negatively about the topic, why are we doing a candle spell? An example of that. Oh, this is great. Thank you, Adrija, and thank you, Quirky and Curvy. Oh my gosh, we've got some readings coming up. This is great. Um, but if we are, let's say, for example, we're doing a love spell, right? We do a big love spell to attract someone new into our life. But then we turn around and we tell our friends, I don't think I'm ever going to find anybody. What have you just done? You've spoken a spell, you've spoken an incantation. It might not be a formal incantation, but you've just spoken the words that are undoing your spell work. So be careful about what you say and redirect your thoughts this week. That's what our challenge is this week. Beautiful, beautiful message from the Ace of Swords. Next message is the Nine of Pentacles. Oh, that cute little strawberry lady. I love this deck so much. I want to live there. I want to be her friend. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't you want to be her friend? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So Nine of Pentacles is about enjoyment of what we have, appreciating what we have, but really taking time for pleasure, pleasurable activities and enjoyment, and enjoying the fruits of our labor, enjoying the fruits of what we have created, enjoying things. I actually have a grape vine in my backyard. I need to pick those grapes this week. That reminds me of that. But anyway, that's not the fruits of my labor, though. It's not fun for me. It's like okay for me. I think about doing fun things this week. Nine of Pentacles. Where can you take time to just enjoy a pleasure this week? A pleasure might be having a beautiful, fragrant cup of tea. A pleasure might be something big, going out with your friends and doing something fun. A pleasure might be, I don't know, painting or writing or doing a hobby. So let's find those pleasurable activities, those pleasurable moments this week and really relish them, really be present for them. Be mindful in that moment. Enjoy that moment. That's great advice for us to take this week as well. All right. And last one, this is why I say it's self-care, 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 because we have Four of Swords, and Four of Swords shows a little bird resting, sleeping on a pumpkin, four swords around. Now, this in the traditional Rider-Waite shows a knight in repose on the top of a tomb. It's a statue of a knight. But this is a card about resting. I sometimes say this card is like go to the spa. Take care of yourself. It could be going to a spa if the spa is self-care for you. Yeah, how are you going to take care of yourself this week? I would love to hear how you're going to take care of yourself this week, what pleasurable things you're going to do, and how you're going to redirect your words and your thoughts. All of it. Let's hear it from you guys. Put it in the chat. We'll pop it up here. Anyway, Four of Swords is about regrouping, relaxing, resting, and then allowing ourselves the time to dream, daydream, visualize. I just myself, this is very timely for me because I just started back and listening to guided meditations. I haven't been listening to guided meditations for a while. I've been just listening to books on tape and other things. But I decided I'm going to spend some time in guided meditation and really do some shamanic work in guided meditation. So I'm really enjoying that. And I'm just finding guided meditations up on YouTube. You can do that. We have tons of guided meditations. I mean, probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions of guided meditations up on YouTube. You're sure to find something that will appeal to you, whether it's a journey of some kind, just a playful guided meditation, or for a specific topic that you're working on or whatever. But that really is about resting, relaxing, regrouping, and being able to vision and dream your beautiful future. And that is an important thing. So there we have it, our directives from the universe on what to do to take care of ourselves this week. This is really good. All right. So we've got some readings we're going to be doing. If you would like a reading, you can get a reading from me. What we're doing is tarot for kindness. Usually I have Ivan Subotin in Kiev, but he's sick this week, so he is not here. But I am here, and we are doing fundraising for Ukraine, for seniors in Ukraine. 100% of your donation goes to feed seniors in Ukraine who are really struggling. We need to remember them. You know, they're not the front of the news anymore, Ukraine, and that doesn't mean that they're not suffering. They are suffering. It's just that there's other news, news cycles forget, So, okay. So great. Adrija, thank you for your question. So we're going to do a 6 card reading. Thank you so much, Adrija. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to see you here. Do you see me and H coming together? If yes, when? And I'll also say, that's a yes, no question. I'm going to kind of alter it and say, what will help bring you and H together? More than just a yes, no. I want to look at a how or a what question, because those are richer than a yes, no. A yes, no we could do with 1 card. If we're doing 6 cards, let's look at the hows and what's going on and all the different aspects of it. So, okay. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a little peek. All right. All right. Okay. Overall, as I look at this, and I'm going to talk about each of the cards, but I want to tell you what I see overall before we get started so that we can talk about the big picture as well as these details along the way. I see some disinterest right now, some lack of interest, but that doesn't mean forever. It's just that there's a time of stillness, a time of no movement. We saw a lot of movement last time we did a reading last week, and now it seems to have been like it's all on hold, is what I would say. So it's not dissolved, it's not destroyed. It's just everything is looking like it's on hold. And I'll tell you why. When you see these cards, you'll understand. So the first card that comes up is the Four of Cups. So Four of Cups shows this little kitty cat sitting against a tree. And the kitty cat is looking at these 3 cups. Now, these 3 cups are just, average cups, right? They're nothing special or magical about them. But here we have off to the side this cup flying through the air, very magical, flying on that little um, cloud of pipe smoke there. But when we see this card, what it represents, one of the meanings of this card is looking at the sort of mundane aspects and missing the magical, missing the mystical, missing something very special. Have you ever like paid attention to something that was kind of just every day and missed seeing something like over there that was really amazing? That's what I feel like is happening here. I'm getting, interestingly, Adrija, I'm getting this for you. You're looking at what's in front of you, and as a result, it is making you a little closed off. That's the arms crossed across the chest from seeing something magical that wants to come from a direction that you are not expecting, a positive thing. Um, this can also mean like not paying attention to synchronicities and not paying attention to signs from your guides or from the universe about the situation as well. So here's what I recommend from this card. I would say to you, instead of being so focused on this person, be open to the possibilities. At least let's put our attention between this and the openness of something to come. Remember that cups represent the heart and the emotions. They represent the emotions. They also represent psychic ability and spirituality and all kinds of things. But they come down to the heart, the emotions. So rather than just be so focused, you could be half focused there, but also half focused on the possibility of something new coming in, because I wouldn't want you to miss the new thing coming in that is so lovely and magical. by focusing on the mundane. So keep your focus. If you can't take your focus off this completely, at least keep your focus split between the two. Allow something. Open up a little bit. Instead of arms across the chest and being closed off, open up to the possibilities of something really magical coming your way. All right? Okay. Next, boy, we have a little repetitious message here because we have the Two of Swords following that. Both of these figures, the cat and the owl, have their wings or arms, in case of the different animals, across their chest, right? So think about this. If I were sitting and you were talking to me and I'm like this, what does that convey? What does that symbolize? It means I'm closed off. I'm not willing to open up. I might be stuck in my own thinking, right? Stuck in my in my old modes of thinking and closed off to any new ideas. It's closed off energy. So when we see Two of Swords show up, it's protecting the heart. I mean, it's not like it's not just not it's not that we're saying it's not justified, but having that new as in some new match. Yes, Adrija. Yes. Um, but the arms crossed across the chest again are saying unwillingness to open up or being protective. If we were say, I could be like this because I'm trying to be protective, right? That's a protective gesture, a protective stance is doing that. So with these two cards showing up with the heart, the arms, or the wings across the chest, we're seeing that. Also with Two of Swords, we see a decision to be made. The Two of Swords mimics, in some ways, the crossroads, the idea that we're having a cross and a crossroads. What happens at a crossroads? Well, magical things happen at a crossroads, for one. I mean, this is one of the most magical places that you can do your magic out in the world is at a crossroads. But crossroads energy, if you're standing at a crossroads, an intersection, you have choices, meaning you could go straight ahead, you could go to the right, you could go to the left, or you can go back. So I feel like there's a decision to be made. I feel like there's a decision to be made. You're at a crossroads. What decision do you want to make? However, there's a feeling like, with this, look at the beautiful calm sea with the moonlight on it, clear sky, beautiful moon. This is a peaceful and serene environment. So there's nothing that needs protection. Like you don't need protection. Those two swords up in the air are like, oh my gosh. But you feel as if you need protection, perhaps. However, you're at a crossroads. You don't have to decide today. You don't have to even decide next week, but you do have to make a decision at some point, and you have to decide for yourself what's right for yourself. You have some avenues open to you. And so think about those other avenues and weigh those. Now, interestingly, well, this card, I've been up since 5:30. This card is about emotions. Two of Swords, we were talking about the swords earlier, logical and rational. So, a decision based on rational topics, rational thought. So, what does that look like when you base a decision on the rational? Well, one of the things it could be is doing up a pros and cons list. What are the pros of waiting around for this person? And what are the cons? What are the pros about looking for a new match, looking for someone else? And what are the cons? I think it's time to spend some time in rational thought with a pros and cons list. What do you think? Could be good. Let me know what you think, Adrija. Okay, let's look at our third card. So this is the card that made me think, you know what? Things are kind of hung up at the moment. Things are being a little static and aren't going to move. So they aren't going to move one way or the other. Good news is it's not moving toward destruction, but not so good news is it's not moving forward to reconciliation either. It's just in suspension. Everything is in suspension. The relationship is in suspension. So, if that's the case, I think there was a blip and a moment where we saw that he might reach out to you. I don't know if he did reach out to you or not, but if he didn't reach out to you, that there may be something that is hanging him up in some ways. He may have his own hangups. I mean, this can be about having hangups. What I mean by hangups is quirks that prevent us, perhaps in this case, prevent us from moving forward. So there's a hang up is an old 60s term. That's like was old when I was a kid. But a hang up is like something like, oh, I've got some kind of issue. We could say now more and more modern language an issue. But I like the phrase hang up because uh it's literally the hangman is hanging there and it's a hang up. So I feel like there's some hang ups and those hang ups are causing things to be just still static and not moving and kind of just you know in suspension. Thank you, Em. Oh my gosh, we've got some great readings today. Thank you so much, Em. Thank you, Quirky and Kirby. You're next. Okay. Third card, Justice card. Now, this is a card that is very interesting because we're seeing like open up, really open up to other possibilities. I think there is a possibility for this relationship to get back on track again, the one you're asking about, but it is going to take some time. Justice card is about karmic justice. What you invest in something, you get out of it. So if you invested a lot in this relationship, there is going to be something that is going to come back to you. It will be equal to what you put into it, perhaps. It may be something more. Um, oh, okay, he did reach out, but just casually, nothing seriously. But I answered in one sentence. He never asked to get back. Yeah. So he did reach out. We saw that communication, but I think things are also in suspension. So this is the card that tells me, though, that there is some possibility in the future. However, I think of this card as being like long range results, meaning it's not going to be anytime soon. And certainly next to the hangman, it's not going to be anytime soon. So you have your pros and cons list. Do I wait around or do I move on? Or do I sort of put this on the way on the back burner and just leave it there and actively go out and date and meet other people and do all of that? I think that's your question for yourself. Um, Fifth card is the Two of Wands. Again, it's envisioning something of the future. And again, I think there is going to be a point in time in the future, but maybe several months from now, when he's going to start thinking about you and thinking about this getting back together with you. Does he take action? Well, our last card says slow rebuilding. This is Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is like, we got to grow it from scratch. We got to grow this relationship from scratch. So I think, I mean, it's good in one sense because you have to rebuild trust again and you don't want to rush into anything. But as I look at all of this, it looks distant out months from now, and it looks to be very like slowly rebuilding. So you have to decide if that's good enough for you. Is that good enough for you? And that's a list, pros and cons list is going to help you decide. So get into your rational mind about it and think about it from the rational perspective. And then you may see that result. Thank you, Cynthia. Oh my gosh, this is great. Oh my gosh. So for you guys here, just to let you know, this is our last Wednesday doing this. And then starting Sunday, we're going to be doing this on Sunday evening. So you won't see it on Wednesday anymore. It'll be on Sunday, starting this coming Sunday. We'll see you again on Sunday. It'll be right after the Magical Mystery Marketplace. So looking forward to seeing you then. And Magical Mystery Marketplace is going to be about the evil eye. We're going to be talking about evil eye products. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you'll join us for that right after the Q&A. All right. Thank you, Adrija. Thank you so much for your donation, helping to feed seniors in Ukraine. Thank you. Thank you. Quirky and Curvy. If you have a question, I can do a general reading if you want a general reading, but if you have a question, you can put your question in the chat. Oh, great. I was just wondering if I'm on the right path for my highest purpose. It's been a tough last 12 months, and I'm wondering if I'm working on the right things and paths. Okay, this is great. Let's see what we see about that path. And thank you so much for your donation. helping seniors in Ukraine. I appreciate it so much, you guys. I really appreciate it because I look and see the news, and um, I'm so happy to offer my readings in exchange for your donations. And together we're helping to feed these cute little seniors. Oh, Jasmine. Okay, great. All right, Jasmine. Thank you. Yeah, we don't have to call you by your your stage name. Um, okay. Oh, I love it. This is great. I love this so much. This has lots of great advice for you. All right. So, question is, am I on the right path? Things feel like they're not really moving, or somehow not going forward as I would like them to be going forward, was Jasmine's question. So, first card that shows up is the King of Wands. All right. King of Wands is about owning your empowerment. So part of all of this project is really about you owning whatever it is that you're working on. I think of this being like that moment when you say, I'm an artist, or I'm a painter, or I'm a musician, or I'm a writer. Sometimes we do the thing, but we don't actually feel comfort in describing ourselves as that thing. I'm an influencer. I'm a whatever, whatever. Whatever you're working on, I'm going to challenge you. If you haven't yet been doing this, call yourself that thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a blah, 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 whatever it is, but call yourself that. Even if this isn't your primary source of income, or maybe has nothing to do with income, start calling yourself that thing. This is about stepping up into your power. This is about stepping up into your creative power. Remember, King of Wands is the element of fire, which is passion and creativity and outward emotion, right? Outward emotion. Thank you, John Paul. Oh my gosh, we have lots of people doing readings today. This is awesome. So Jasmine, step into your power. Own it. Own it. Whatever you're doing, you're super passionate about. You're good at it. You just need to step into that power. That's the first message. So wherever, great. Actually, it really fits perfectly. For me, it's an artist and a witch. So start calling yourself an artist and start calling yourself a witch. Do it. If you haven't been, you might have been. And it doesn't mean that you have to be like announcing it everywhere. We do it where we want to feel safe. But if people ask what you do, tell them, I'm an artist and a witch. You will be surprised. It kind of weeds out the weaklings when you do that. Because really, you want to be hanging out with people that love art and love witchcraft, or at least are accepting of it, right? So why not start saying that thing? I think it's hilarious when people ask me sometimes, what do you do for a living? Like strangers will be, I'm like, I'm a professional witch. They're like, some people are like, oh, and then other people it's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So it's a great little barometer to test, is this person going to be a friend to you or not, when you start saying it out there, putting it out there, and I realize, it's not always appropriate, or, to be talking about something that is very dear to you and very private, but start calling yourself that. Start calling yourself, I am an artist. If you haven't yet, make a business card that says that. I have a business card that says witch in residence or something like that. I made up some card. I had to make up a business card really quickly. Yeah, so just make up a business card. I also have a professional one, but I have one that says, I do shamanic work and tarot readings. I have a business card that says that. Make a business card if you have it. And I know you youngsters are like, business card, schmizness card. Why do we need those? Well, we just tap our phones together and we share information. But there's something really wonderful about a business card, and you can make them very cheaply. You can go to FedEx, Kinko's, whatever they call it these days, or you can, go to Vistaprint online, and you can make something really nice, pretty cheaply and pretty easily. So Make a business card that says that. I think it'll give you that confidence of being like, I'm really that thing. I'm that thing. So I think that's what you want to start to bring in here is that confidence and that because this is telling me, I'm going to tell you something, Jasmine. This is telling me that you're really good at it, that you're good at it, but you're like maybe a little wobbly about it. Am I this thing? What if I'm not making money at it? Am I still this thing? Yes. Nobody is going to come along and bestow the title of artist on you. You have to bestow it on yourself. Oh my gosh, I just thought of a beautiful thing Mary K. Greer told me. So you guys might know Mary K. Greer. She's amazing, famous author, and she writes about tarot. She's so unbelievably knowledgeable, and she's a wonderful dear friend of mine. I love business cards. Wonderful. I love that. So Mary Kay Greer said to me, how did you, we were having a conversation with a group of people, just a small group of people, or maybe, I think it was or maybe she was giving a talk. I don't remember. But anyway, we started talking about it. I think it was a small group of people we were talking because otherwise I wouldn't have shared. But she was saying, I first read something that said, if you say, I am a witch, you become a witch. If you say, I am a witch 3 times, you become a witch. I'm like, oh my God, I love that so much. So say, I'm a witch 3 times, and then you're a witch. And then you can say, I'm a witch. All right, second card that comes up is 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups tells me what's going to amplify and help your situation with this artist witch project that you're working on. You need community, but close community. These are like friends getting together. So I would say to you, both being an artist and being a witch can be done solitary, right? It's convenient. We can do it whenever we want. But I would get together with friends and do this. So get together with friends and have a painting night, or get together with friends and have a collage day, or find other artists and do a group show, or get together some other people that are magical practitioners and do some magic together. This is really going to help really amplify this so much. Community, but little community. This isn't about big communities. This is about close friendships, people that you're close to, and getting together with them and doing these joyful, playful, fun things. These are three little witches partying together, having a cup of tea, right? So take that energy and bring that together. Have some fun, play together, make magic together, do art together, but do things with a small community. It could even be having like even maybe if you're needing like help on the business end, a small community of artists who want to turn it into a business, and you help one another, you share secrets. This is called a mastermind group where you share your information with one another, support one another. Such a good thing to do. Such a lovely thing to do. So, third card for Jasmine is 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords, everybody looks at this and goes, ugh, yuck, gross. I hate this card. Oh, horrible, terrible. Don't like it. I love this card. I love this card. Do you know why I love this card? Because it is that the universe clapping back and saying, you are caging yourself with some notion that you have. You are making yourself, you are not thinking outside the box. You are creating an artificial limitation. An artificial limitation. Look at that little rooster. He's got these things wrapped around him, but they're really kind of loose. He could just wiggle a little bit and get that ribbon off of him. And the swords are on his left and his right, and there's just a little puddle at his feet. He is not trapped. So in any area that you feel trapped, or you feel blocked, or you feel somehow hindered in some way about this topic, I would encourage you to check your thinking. What we talked about in the collective reading, check your thinking. For example, here's an example, and I'm going to relate it to this. If I say that I'm a witch, people are going to harass me. I'm really public about being a witch, and any little stupid harassment is just usually some troll, and I just banish them. That's no big deal. But have I gotten harassed in my community? No. I'm fortunate that I live in a community where they don't, but I'm not saying every community is like that. But what I'm saying is, if you have a notion of fear because I'm not going to come out because I'm going to get harassed, then you want to kind of check that because you probably won't. And you coming out helps another witch come out too, which is really important. Now, another thing, artist. Oh, the idea I'm a struggling artist. Artists are struggled. Artists don't get paid. Artists are always poor and never make any money. That may be a belief that you're holding. I don't know if it's a belief that you're holding. I'm giving it as an example. And you want to say, wait a minute, is that a fact? No, there are artists who are richer than anybody. Ask Jeff Koons, one of my least favorite artists, but ask him. He makes a lot of money. Makes a lot of money. So what I'm saying is, when you have a notion that you're making a blanket statement about something and it's trapping you in some thought, in some belief, check that belief. Check that belief. Is it realistic? Is it real? Is it accurate? Probably not. It's probably a generalization of some kind. So check your belief systems about it too, and then break out of that cage. You can break out of that cage easily. Thank you so much, Jasmine. I hope that was helpful. Let me know in the comments. All right. Who is next? I think it's let's see. Next is M. Thank you, M. Okay, thank you, Em. So we're gonna do a $40 reading. Wonderful. I saw someone I used to date for the first time in almost a year this weekend at a public event. How does he feel toward me? Will he reach out? Does he think about me? We can call him A. Okay, let's see what A is on A's mind, what transpired here. Interesting. Did you see each other, or did you just see him, or did you have a chance to talk or anything like that? Was there any contact in that moment? Or did you see each other across the room? Or did you see him across the room? All right. Let's see. Let's see what we see. Oh, he saw you. Okay, good. All right. Okay, here's what I see. First, I'm going to he waved. Oh, nice, nice. Okay. I'm going to say what the real issue is, what the issue is, what the core of the issue is. We've got Page of Pentacles showing up. When pages show up, remember the arrangement of the tarot. There's one ace through 10, then there's the court cards, and then there's the major arcana. That's the structure of the tarot. The court cards tell us a lot about people. And when I see we have page, knight, queen, and king, you can almost look at them like child, young person, mature person of queen and king, mature, right? When we see a page, we're seeing someone who is not yet matured, right? They're looking eagerly at the world with wide eyes. Everything's new and exciting. That's a positive thing. It's not negative to be naive or inexperienced or youthful. But what do we say about young people and especially about relationships? If you know a 15-year-old that would say, I'm ready to get married, I'm going to get married, what would we do normally? Normally, although who knows? Who knows in some places? But normally, we say to a 15-year-old, it's not appropriate to get married. You're too young. You have growing to do, right? You're not ready yet to make that decision. And now I'm not saying this is about you. This is about A. I don't think he yet has the maturity to be in a real serious relationship. He may be exploring just and checking things out in the world. So if what you're wanting is a serious relationship, we've got somebody who's still stuck in their youth in some way. It used to be in the 80s and the 90s, we called this Peter Pan syndrome. Peter Pan syndrome is I want to be a kid forever, right? I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. I just want to be a kid. And what there's lovely things about being a kid. No commitments, no responsibilities. No responsibilities, no commitments means no responsibilities. And I get the sense that that's where he's at in his life right now. He is not thinking about serious commitments. He's not in general. So it's not just you. And sometimes we personalize things so much. Why don't they fall in love with me? Why don't they want to be in a serious relationship with me? It isn't that they don't dislike you. They don't, it's not that he doesn't like you. It's not that he doesn't think you're hot and cute and all of those things. He is not ready to be in a serious relationship. So if you are looking for a fling, fantastic. You could have a fling, but if you are looking for a serious relationship, he's not there yet. He's just not there yet. And it's not with you, it's with anybody. He isn't ready for a serious relationship. Sometimes it's very interesting. We find that people think that maturing goes like this. You start out a kid, then you're a teenager, then you're young adult, and you go like this. But we find for many people, it goes up and down, right? You'll have moments where you're being very mature, and then other moments where you are seeking out the energy of your youth. This is what is called the midlife crisis, right? Midlife crisis is really seeking out the freedom and the fun and the lack of responsibility of your younger days. I don't want to be responsible. I want to just have fun like I did when I was a teenager. That's a midlife crisis. So it doesn't mean that he's always going to be this way. Sometimes people are always that way, but he may be in that phase right now. Did he just leave a relationship? If he just left a serious relationship, people will often go backwards in that sense. Go back to, not backwards in a bad way, but go back to, right? So if you were married and then got a divorce, it's very rare that somebody gets a divorce and then remarries right away. It happens. But for most people, when they're divorced and they're out of a serious relationship, they just want to have fun. They want to go back to that freedom and fun of their younger days. So this is telling me that about him. So I don't care what his chronological age is right now, he is thinking about his younger days. Now, he's a responsible guy in general because Page of Pentacles, Pentacles people are responsible people. So he's not a guy who's a player who's going to play around with your heart and not just toss you aside. He is not going to get involved with anyone unless he is serious. So he's just being straight shooter. He's telling you, like, I mean, he's not telling you anything, but he's acting appropriately and in alignment with what his goal is right now. And his goal is to just have fun and be free. Just have fun and be free. But he's a responsible have fun and be free. Pentacles energy. He's grounded, he's responsible. So he's not he's not going to lie to somebody, in other words, to trick them and then use them and then leave them. So I mean, he's got some good characteristics, but he's just not ready for a relationship right now. That's it. And it's nothing to do with you. It is everything to do with where he is on his journey. So that's important to know. So it's not a bad thing. It's just this is what it is, right? This is what it is. He is definitely in retreat mode too, because we have two cards here. We saw these cards earlier. The Four of Swords is about recuperating. So this gives me a sense that maybe he was in a serious relationship or had some serious responsibilities and now just wants to have fun. So he's recuperating from that with the Four of Swords. And he may not be looking at this offering that you have. He's not really paying attention. He might even be a little closed off. Not because of you, but because he doesn't, again, it goes back to this. He just doesn't want to he probably can sense you want a serious relationship and he knows he's not in the place for it. His head isn't in that thinking of that right now. So, I think we personalize these things and go, well, gosh, I'm giving such an offering of love. Why isn't somebody taking that offering of love? But it doesn't mean that they don't like you. It doesn't mean that they don't respect you. It doesn't mean that they don't even have interest in you. But this is a responsible guy who's not going to pursue you just for a fling, because he knows that you want something, that you're offering something much more than that, that you're wanting, that you're in love with him and that you want love back from him. And so he's going to keep it a little distant, a little cool, and just sort of be in his own world for now. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't think about you. It doesn't mean that there's not possibilities for the future, but it's going to be when he's in the place for thinking about commitment. We know you're there thinking about this, but I think that you want more than just a fling, and he doesn't want to trample on your heart. So I think he's a good guy in that way. But he's just not in that place right now. He's in a very youthful place. He's in a lack of responsibility place right now, and that's where he is in his life. We've all been there. If you've been alive for a few decades, my gosh, have you had the situation where you've gotten out of a relationship and the last thing you want to think about is a relationship? I think that's we've all had that experience, or maybe we've had that experience. Lots of people have had that experience, where you're just like, I just want to have fun right now, or I just want to focus on myself, or my passions, or my career, or my friends. That's what I want to focus on right now. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that it's bad if somebody else wants something very serious and you're not in that place of seriousness. So he's communicating to you that he has good feelings. He's open to you. He waved to you, but he knows that you're interested in him, and he's doesn't want to trample on your heart. So he's not going to pursue it at this moment in time. This could change in a few months. This could change in a year. But right now, this is where it's at. So the good thing for you is, if we look at this also applies to you. Open your heart to something that is off the beaten path. You may be focusing on him and missing out on a super great guy. So keep your options open. You're hopefully a free agent, and you can go wherever you want, talk to whoever you want. Keep your eye open for that unexpected love that may pop into your life. That's what that card can represent, the thing that we're not expecting, and magical and great. So good to know. All right. Thanks, Em. Thank you so much. Cynthia, you have a question? Let's see what your question is. Thank you so much, you guys. I want to say thank yous again to all that have donated: Adrija, Jasmine, M, Cynthia, John Paul, and Vicky. You're coming up next, John Paul and Vicky. Cynthia had a question. Thank you, Cynthia. Number one, any messages from the universe or my guides for quick money to support my mission to Ghana? Cynthia, I think about you all the time, and Ghana has been popping up for me like crazy. Like I see things on Instagram. I mean, it's probably the algorithm. If you like one thing, they they put a lot. I like cat videos. They put a lot of cat videos on my Instagram. But I've been noticing and paying attention to Ghana and how beautiful it is. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. Those beaches are gorgeous, and how lovely it is, and the people and the culture and the music and all the things. So I've been really thinking, every time one of those pops up, I think of you. So any messages from the universe on my guides for quick money to support my mission for Ghana, and any blockages with this Ghana mission regarding particularly Isaac's agenda. Okay, is Isaac a new person, or is this the person that we talked about that was coming in to help? The person in Ghana that was coming, I think it's a different person, right? A new person? You have to give me some background on that one. But let's take a look at this and see what we see. I love this mission. Ghana looks amazing, by the way. Oh, I love it. I love it, and I think of you every single time I see something about Ghana on my feed. Oh, he's a new partner. Okay, great. Okay. I kind of felt like that was a new name, but I wanted to make sure. All right. So money and any blocks. We're going to look at those. Let's see what we see. Okay. Oh, this is great. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. First card that shows up. So this is about the money. This is definitely about the money. Three of Pentacles. So pentacles represent coins. You'll see them there in the carving in the tree that the little beet is making that carving, and the squirrel and the rabbit are helping, right? So the squirrel brings the nuts, the money, I guess, and the rabbit brings the plan, and then the beet is the one that carves into the tree, right? So in the traditional Rider-Waite, we're looking at the Silver Acorn Tarot, but in the traditional Rider-Waite, this is three people, a monk, architect, and a stonemason working on a stone arch. So everybody brings their gifts, everybody brings their skills. This is a lovely card for working in harmony with others. And really, we have to get community involved. Like, how do we get community involved? Um, I think it's like bringing in the people. Like, this is a great card for money. This is about a money making venture. When we see Three of Pentacles, they're making something that's going to bring in money, but everybody has a specific skill set that they're bringing to it. So, where's your fundraiser? Who's your fundraiser? If you don't have a dedicated fundraiser, or it's falling into your lap, I think you need to have somebody with lots of experience in fundraising. I get that you can get this person pretty easily on board. Somebody that has experience with raising funds. Seems like it's the thing. If you've been given that task and that's not your area of expertise, we need to get an expert in there. It doesn't have to be, hiring somebody, or it can be somebody volunteering, but somebody with experience. Somebody with experience in raising funds. This is where your money's going to come from. Someone with experience in the money part of it. So sometimes what happens when we get a plan going, especially a very entrepreneurial plan like yours, I think yours is pretty entrepreneurial. It's just you and the artist working together to mainly, and then you're getting these partners in there. But where's the partner who's the fundraiser or the money person? Sometimes when we're an entrepreneur, we wear hats that maybe it's better to hire somebody. Like for me, numbers and bookkeeping and all of that is like the worst for me. I don't like doing it. I'm not very good at it. I don't like doing it. So as a result, I hire somebody to do my bookkeeping, because then I have somebody who's professional, who's good at it, who likes doing it, and I don't have to do it. So the time may come that you want to get someone in there that is particularly good at dealing with the money situation or fundraising in this case. I really get this idea of like a person who is a fundraiser person. So if this is a benefit, if it's a benefit, you can get somebody to volunteer, or you can get somebody who is going to work for money that you're raising, or a percentage of the money that you raise. I mean, there's lots of ways of doing this. But if you've been tasked with this fundraising part and fundraising is not your area of expertise, you need to get somebody with experience on board. That's it. Yeah. I'm considering the money person, but broke right now. Okay, so we'll find a source for fundraising, right? Think outside of the box, because, let's say you have somebody working on something. Let's say they're working on fundraising. So part of the deal could be that they get a percentage of the funds that are raised, just like a salesperson gets a commission, right? I'm not sure of the legalities of it because I'm not a money person. So I'm probably not hitting all the points of it, but I do getting the fundraiser person there, and they can work for a percentage, just like a salesperson works for a percentage of commission. If you sell $100, you get 10%. So the you're going to make more than $100, but I'm using it as an example because it's easy numbers for me. It's mostly for me. So if someone's like, okay, we have to raise $100, but if you, as the salesperson or the fundraiser, do this fundraising and you raise $100, you get 10% of that. And 90% goes to the organization, 10% goes to the person who did the fundraising. I think something like that could be worked out, and it doesn't mean money out of your pocket. But you have to research and find out if that's possible, legal, doable, and then find the person who is invested. I really get a person who's invested in the goal as well. So I wouldn't just hire a random person out there. I would find somebody who's really invested in the culture of Ghana, in the culture of Jamaica, in music or in the arts. Find those people who are invested in it, who would volunteer, but volunteer and get paid. That's what I'm getting, that kind of a feeling for that. So that's the first thing, of the fun of the money. Second thing, I think you have a lot of choices in front of you. That 7 of Cups is like having too many, almost like too many choices of things to do, ways to focus. You might be even a little overwhelmed by all of it, because 7 of Cups can be um, just being like there's too many choices. So now I'm confused. It can sometimes be a card of confusion. Not always, it's just lots of choice. So when you are making choices, listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. That's 2 Cups energy. Your intuition, your gut feeling is going to guide you in the right way. So if something feels off, question it, dig deeper. If something feels right, go for it. Step forward into it. Oh, thank you for putting that up. New time. Um, so 7 of Cups energy means you have lots of choices, but you need to choose intuitively and listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. If your gut tells you something's off, dig deeper and find out. Don't just ignore it. Find out what's up. Something's, if a person is like, find out more about them. Look into their background. Talk to other people that know them. Get the information from just, people around you who know this person. Get references. That's another thing. Get references. Who are the references? Are they reliable people? But I think that this is a card about trusting your intuition and when you're making these choices. I think that's good. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this guy, Isaac. I think Page of Wands, good energy, lots of enthusiasm, energy, motivation, might not be experienced. That's the only thing that I think. So what I think, the enthusiasm might make up for the lack of experience, but lack of experience. So again, page energy, right? Lack of experience, youthful energy. So it doesn't mean, I wouldn't put, okay, think of this. If this is like a page is like a teenager, you don't put a teenager in charge, because teenagers don't have the experience or the wisdom to be in charge. They shouldn't really be in charge. People with more experience should be in charge, right? So if he is somebody who is enthusiastic and optimistic and positive, which is what this card says, you can put him in a role where that enthusiasm is utilized. Lots of energy, lots of go get it energy, and that. But I would not put this person in charge. That's what I would say about it. Not that he's bad or going to do something bad, but because he isn't ready to be in charge. You need to maintain that you're in charge. Bring this person on and channel all that youthful energy in good ways. It could be promotion or announcing this or sharing it on social media. Put him in a role where he gets to express and use all that energy up and put it out there. But don't make him the lead person in something. He should be a helper, not a leader. Okay, not right now. All right, does that make sense, Cynthia? Last card. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands energy is putting something out there and seeing it come back to you. This is like consistently what we see about this project. Yes, it takes some time. It takes some time. These little boats that are in the water are going to take some time to go sail to another country far away and come back again, right? So this is going to take some time, but you're putting things out there that will return to you. It's very good. Yes, that's exactly how I'm handling him. Perfect. Yeah, I get good energy from him, but inexperienced energy. Just channel all that good youthful enthusiasm. So I see with all of this that you're putting something out there, you're investing something that is going to pay off and going to have a good result. I mean, great result. We've always seen very positive cards about the project. But I think that it's like having that patience and trusting. One of the things that when I was reading about this card, when I was doing my audiobook for Magical Tarot, and I was reading this card, I forgot that what I'd written about it a long time ago, and it totally makes sense. This little analogy. This is like things happening behind the scenes in a good way, right? The universe is helping us, but we can't see the help. So I say it's like when you go to see a play in the theater, and it's before the curtain opens for the opening of the show, you're sitting there in the theater, and you, as the audience member, all you see is a curtain, right? Think about this as a concert. All you see is an empty stage. Does that mean that nothing's happening? No. Backstage, they're tuning up their instruments, they're warming up their vocal cords, they're getting the lights and the props and whatever else they need for the show together. There's hustle and bustle going on behind the curtain, but you just can't see it. So the same thing, the universe is conspiring to make this work out. This is going to work out, but from where you're standing, it doesn't look like it's going to work out. You can't see what the universe is lining up for you. So trust it. Trust it. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. And I would just say, I think a really important thing is finding that fundraiser person and finding a way to compensate them that isn't out of your pocket. Maybe it's a percentage of what the fundraising that can be part of what they make or what they make, right? It's a great way to work, and it's a great motivator. Just like salespeople are very motivated to make sales if they make a commission, right? So it could be a really good thing. I love it, Cynthia. Thank you so much. And I want to keep up with all of that because I think it's such a great thing. And I think of you, send you so much love. Every time I see something about Ghana, I just send you so much love and good energy about your project. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's see who's next. John Paul and then Vicky. Anybody else who wants a reading? We have time for readings. I stay here till everybody gets read. So if you'd like a reading, you can make a donation on PayPal, Venmo, or Super Chat, and Super Chat on YouTube. So John Paul did that on Super Chat. And John Paul I had my Persian cat, Jessica, at the vet today with certain health issue. I'm wondering if she will pull through this. I want to have her for many more years. Oh, little Jessica. Oh my gosh. Well, were you here at the beginning, John Paul, when I was talking about when you get into worry, what to do? Do your magic every day this week. When you get into worry about Jessica, I want you to speak out loud. Jessica recovers fully and has a long life ahead of her. Say it out loud. Do an incantation to break the worried thought from recycling over and over again. No, I'm not saying you're crazy, but I'm crazy. But if I have a thought, like I have anxiety and I start thinking and I'm like overthinking and I'm thinking over and over the same negative thought and I'm going down a spiral, stop it by saying something. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. We could talk about that for a second. The love witch, it worked for me. My cat healed miraculously and I hope Jessica does too. Yeah. The love witch's cat fell 5 stories out of a window. It was horrible. And she was paralyzed for a while. Now she's back in her sassy self. Amazing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So do some really positive words out loud about Jessica. I think that's really good. I love her name is Jessica, by the way. Jessica makes me think of I don't know, was there a character on Dallas or one of those shows in the 80s? I think of a lady with big shoulder pads and big hair fighting with lots of diamonds and furs on. That's Jessica. All right. Let's see what's going on for Jessica. All right. I love that. Dynasty, not slanding. That was the other one, right? Oh my goodness. I love those 80s shows. They're so funny. Oh, okay. All right. Here's the thing. We have lots of options. This card coming up again, 7 of Cups. There's different options for her treatment. So I want you to look at all of the options for the treatment. So if you take her to one vet and they're saying you have to do this one thing, Get a second opinion is what I would say with this card. Make sure you look at all the treatment options for her. Find out, get the diagnosis of whatever's going on and find out what the different options are. If your vet is giving you options, then you don't have to get a second opinion. But if your vet is, you must do this one thing, I would get a second opinion because you need to have choices. Your gut, your intuition, your heart is going to tell you which is the right choice. So I see there's more than one choice for the treatment and what's going to happen, right, with all of this. I also see this is a very good card. The Hierophant is coming up. Hierophant card is about traditional wisdom, traditional wisdom. So this can be doing your spiritual work. Now, in the Rider-Waite, the Hierophant looks like a pope. I'm going to have a special message for you, John Paul, because I know about your practice and what you do. I would say to you, say a rosary. Do you feel like, could you say a rosary? Would you say a rosary for her? I'd say do some spiritual work that's like traditional spiritual work, right? Praying, lighting a candle in a church, saying the rosary. Do that stuff, Could be really nice. Why don't they have a cat-themed rosary with little beads that look like cat heads? Oh my gosh, they need that. They don't have one. They should make one. Maybe it's too disrespectful. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, I would say do a little novena, maybe, right? 9 days, 9 candles, prayer. Pray to a saint, Mary, St. Jude. Is there a patron saint of cats? If not, there should be. Oh, she has megacolon. What's megacolon? Is it like something wrong with her colon has gotten enlarged? I'm not sure what that is. You'll have to tell me in the chat what that is. This is fascinating to me, though. I would say do this. Pray for a miracle. Why not? And I know you're Catholic boy. I know you're a Catholic boy. So do some Catholic things around it. Do a rosary, do a novena, pray to a saint, pray to St. Jude, publish your results. St. Jude made a miracle and solved my cat's issue. So are they offering you different options on treatments? I need to know more. St. Gertrude is the patron saint of cats. I love that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. St. Gertrude, there is a patron saint of cats. I love that. Oh, chronic constipation. Oh. So what are the options that they're giving you? Are they giving you more than one option to do the things to help her? Are they giving you more? Let me know if they're giving you more than one option, you'll know. You'll know in your heart which is the right option to do. Yeah. Is she drinking enough water? Because sometimes that can be an issue. I know cats don't like to drink water, but here are some options that I would think just as a cat owner that come to mind. Drinking more water. Sometimes cats like a little fountain that they can drink out of. I don't know if she has a little fountain. If she doesn't drink water, you can get those like flavored waters for the cats. Maybe those would be good. Water that tastes like, I don't know, chicken or fish or something that she likes. So see if you can, you can get salt-free. Cats aren't supposed to have salt, but you can get unsalted tuna fish and then squeeze the tuna water out into a thing. You can eat the tuna or give it to her. But that tuna water, cats love that tuna water. And I always get unsalted canned tuna, so I can give them the water. I don't know if I just do it. Talk to your vet. Don't take any medical recommendations from me. But yeah, I think if you give her more water, it's going to help. The whole thing is going to help. That's going to help move things along as well. But look at your options there, because I think there's more than one option. And if they're only giving you one option, like surgery or something like that, look at more options. Do some research. here's what I would tell you. This is such a good thing to do. Oh my gosh, it's such a good thing to do. Say a little prayer to St. Gertrude and ask St. Gertrude to lead you to the information that is going to help Jessica. And then look online, see what you can find. And I bet you can find people. I especially love finding threads on like Reddit or these other boards, these forums, because people will tell you what worked for them. And what I have found is that sometimes that advice can lead you in the right direction. They gave her fluids today. Yeah, get her a little. Does she have a little fountain? Get her a little fountain. Maybe she'll drink out of that and she'll drink more. Or get flavored waters and she'll drink those. And ask your vet if you can do either of those things, if the vet would recommend that for her, because I think that's part of constipation. We're talking about cat if you just jumped in. I'm not giving medical advice, but I think part of it is not having enough water to get everything moving. So maybe figure out, get a little fountain for her. There's cute little fountains on all the, if you go to PetSmart or any of those places, or you order online at one of the pet companies, they've got the cutest little fountains. I had two for my cats, but they only like one of them. One of them they didn't like very much. So don't give up on a fountain. Some styles they may not like, and some might like better. So she's worth it. But I think that this is going to work. These are both good cards and both positive cards. So I think there's a solution out there for her. And I think that's really good to know. So, all right. I think we have one more. Vicky, John Paul. We'll add her to our altar. We have a community altar, you guys, where we do, we set up every month. We open it up so that you can put your intentions or prayers on that altar at no charge. Thank you, Vicky. I sent $20 for a 2-card reading. I'd like to know, how will my relationship with Adrian go, and when will I be able to move in with Adrian? Great. Okay. All right. Let's take a look. Thank you so much, you guys. I want to say thank yous to everybody who's made a donation. There's still time if you haven't made a donation. If you make it before I finish with Vicky, we'll get you in there. Adrija, thank you so much. Jasmine, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cynthia, thank you. And John Paul, thank you. All of you guys, thank you so much. This has been wonderful, being able to read for you and do this and raise funds for Ukraine. I appreciate it so much. All right, so let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. I think this is very interesting. So with Adrian, I see Page of Wands energy. Again, we're seeing lots of pages today. Youthful energy. We did see a king earlier, but pages is youthful energy. So when will I be able to move in with Adrian? I'm going to show you both cards because we got to talk about both together. We've got the Hangman coming up, and we've got Page of Wands showing up. Hangman card is really about things being, he likes things the way they are. He likes it where it is. So things are like I would say at a standstill. Standstill is not bad. You guys are together. Things are good and positive between the two of you, but he doesn't want to change anytime soon. Again, Page energy. He's not there yet. Doesn't mean not going to get there, but he's not there yet. He isn't, he's kind of almost like what I get with this is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Meaning he doesn't want to change things or invite trouble by making a change when he's perfectly content with things the way they are right now. Page of Wands energy. Page energy is somebody who doesn't want to take on responsibility. And there is a responsibility in moving in together. It's a big step. So it doesn't mean that he's never going to do that, but right now he is not thinking about that. He's passionate about you. He's positive about you, but he doesn't want to take that big step of moving in. So I don't know if now this is something that you have to judge. Is this guy somebody who has never lived with anyone? Then he may be like that forever or for a long time. Like this may go on for a long time. Or is he a guy who has lived with somebody in the past and had successful relationships where he lived with someone, and now he's just not in a phase right now where he wants to move in? Knowing his relationship history will tell you, is this a moment or is this a trend? If he's never lived with anyone, I would say, it might be some time. It might be a long time before he wants to move in. That's a big step for him, and, definitely a big step for Page energy. But if he's somebody who has lived with people and has had that experience, he may be just in a phase right now. So that's for you to assess by looking at his past history. But Paige, I'm telling you right now, Paige is liking not having responsibility, doesn't want that responsibility right now. And he looks at it as a responsibility. The good news is that he is being responsible about it and being thoughtful about it. He's not just jumping into something and then jumping out again. Oh, that would be devastating. So he's taking his time about it. That's what Hangman is. Hangman does have enlightenment at the end of it, waking up. There's not, Hanged Man isn't forever, but it is things being in suspension and not moving, not changing anytime soon. So my sense is you've got a little while, months, maybe years, depending on his own history, before the two of you will move in together. Have you brought it up to him? What has his response been? Has his response been to deflect, or has his response been, telling you, I'm not ready for that step, or whatever? If he's telling you he's not ready for that step, believe him, because he really isn't ready for that step right now. So I think that you want, in your situation, here's what I would say. Look at the things that you have with that are the benefits of not living together. The benefits of not living together is you have a place to retreat to. You can have things your way. You don't have to pick up anybody's dirty socks or clean anybody's dirty dishes. So I think there are some good benefits to not being in the same house. And you might want to think about those benefits for right now so that you can enjoy this time. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get there, but just not in the immediate future. Doesn't look like to be in the immediate future because of this energy of he doesn't want that responsibility. I'd bring it up to him. Have you brought it up to him, or are you waiting for him to ask you? If you haven't brought it up, bring it up and see what he says. And then maybe he needs you to lead the way, saying we should move in together. I want to move. But if he says no, believe him. If he's like on the fence, I think you can start the ball rolling, but it's going to be you initiating it. So you have to be comfortable with initiating something. But if you brought it up and he said no, then believe him. He isn't ready for that step. It doesn't mean never, but it just not right now, not in the foreseeable future. So there you go. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Does that make sense, Vicki? Let's wrap this up. Oh my gosh, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you what Love Witch is hinting that I should talk about. We have the most amazing thing going right now at the Parlor of Wonders. It's the Trick or Treat Halloween mystery box. We have made 100 of these mystery boxes. I have been personally picking and packing these, by the way. That's what I got up at 5:30 this morning to do. We are putting together these super, super, super cute boxes full of wonderful surprises for you. They all come with 2 of these wishing ghost candles in 2 different colors. It's super cute. A bottle of spirit guide oil and an array of very, very cute magical items from the Parlor of Wonders. What could those be? Well, I'll tell you what some of them were. Some of the boxes have gemstone rune sets in them. Some of the boxes have pendulums in them. Some of them have decks in them. Some of them have grimoires in them. Some of them have, what else do I have that I've been putting in? Some have magical talismans in them. There's all kinds of things that I'm putting in these boxes, and they're really cute things. But not only that, if you see that thing in the front, I don't know if you can see my cursor, that little thing that says golden ticket, every box comes with a gold envelope with a scratcher inside. We made these scratchers. And the scratchers have a prize. Every single one has a prize. We made 100 of them. 50 of them have 10% off coupons, which can be a pretty good surprise prize if you are buying something, a lot of stuff. That can be a really good deal. Get, good 10% discount. But the other 50 have things like workshops, free passes to workshops, a reading from me, a month in the coven at the Supreme Witch level. What else do we have in there? All kinds of prizes. And the grand prize, oh, we have reading with me. Did I say that one? Um, the grand prize, the grand prize. Oh, Vicky has a follow-up question. Okay, I'll get to that. Um, Grand prize is $1,000 prize package. $1,000 worth of services. You get a custom spell done by me. You get a 1 hour reading with me. You get a free pass to the First Sunday's Witchcraft Workshop. You get a whole bunch of things that add up to $1,000, and it's amazing. A monthly group spell service. I think that's one of the prizes too. I mean, there's all kinds of prizes in there. So go check it out. Check it out at that QR code, and you'll see all about it. And get on this because we just dropped this on Monday, and we have already sold 60 of the 100. So this isn't going to last much longer, and then they will be gone. So I want you guys to be able to participate in this and get that scratcher and win a prize and get that cool box of amazing goodies from the Parlor of Wonders. Oh, by the way, the box costs $100, but the prizes and things, not even counting the scratcher, the goodies and things you get there are well over $100. We're packing in like $120, $130, $140 worth of stuff in there. So you're getting a really good deal on that as well. And then we're giving you this little scratcher, which is an additional little goodie in there. So it's a magical little mystery trick or treat box. Who doesn't love a grab bag? We all love grab bags. It's really fun. So get yours before they get sold out because we've already sold 60 and it's only been on for 2 days. Some people are buying two. So we're really going to sell it pretty quickly if people are buying 2 of them. It's really fun. I'm packing these boxes that have extra goodies. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. And I'm picking out all the goodies and I'm wrapping them up. I'm doing it. Yeah, it's me. Kelly's helping me, but I'm doing the picking part. She's doing the putting in the ghost candles and the oils and that stuff. So yeah. Got all gemstones in there, all kinds of cool things. They're really, really cool. These packages are really cool. I mean, I'm looking at them going, I'd want that. I'd want this box with all this cool stuff in it. Incense burners. I mean, all kinds of cool things we got in there. All right. Vicky, I want another $10 for another reading. I've just learned how to read Akashic records for others. Will I be able to pursue this as a career to be my main resource of income? Let's see. I love Akashic records reading. I was just doing an Akashic records guided meditation not too long ago. All right, let's see. Thank you, Vicky. Oh, I love it. I love it. Very satisfying, very satisfying. We have the 9 of Cups here. 9 of Cups is like total fulfillment. I love this. I love this card so much. So 9 of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite, this is like a guy sitting in front of a banquet table and he has 9 cups behind him and he's sitting there. He's very satisfied. He's got kind of a grin on his face. He's got it all. This is called the Wish card. So this is a card about really having a fulfillment, a sense of fulfillment from doing this thing. I think reading the Akashic records is very fulfilling to you. Not only that, but when I think of the banquet aspect of it, it's like you have something to share with others as well. So when we step into something like this, there's more than just the fulfillment aspect of it. You have to be a marketer and you have to like be an entrepreneur and you have to think of new ways to like get this out there into the world because not everyone knows about the Akashic records. You've got to educate people. You've got to show them why this will benefit them. So my sense is the people will love what you're doing. You love what you're doing. But the way that you're going to make it into a thriving business is by also activating those entrepreneurial qualities. I can remember when I was first when I was very, very first, when I was very first doing readings, I was just doing readings for my friends and myself. I wasn't doing readings professionally. When I stepped into being professional, I started doing things like I was doing party readings, tarot at parties, right? And so I would advertise on websites that were for party planners so that party planners could find me. And those are really great. That was very, very lucrative when I was first starting out. I was like doing great. But I also realized that doing parties, everybody has a party on the weekend. What am I going to do Monday through Friday? I've got to start doing individual readings as well, doing one-on-one readings. So then I branched out into doing that, even though my plan initially was I'm just going to be a party reader because it was a side job. I had a day job as a librarian. My side job was doing party readings on the weekend. But when I lost my library job, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to find something to do with Monday through Friday. So I got very inventive and very entrepreneurial. And that is really what's going to make the difference here. If you want, that's the difference between someone who does it as a hobby or as a side hustle and someone who is dedicated as a business is you also have to have that activation of being able to jump into something with an entrepreneurial energy. What is an entrepreneurial energy? It is willingness to try things, seeing if they work, make adjustments, try new things, see what people like, discover things, thinking of new ways to market. So you've got to kind of wear, when you're an entrepreneur, you got to wear a lot of hats. You could be the greatest Akashic Records reader in the world, but if people don't know about you, how are they going to know? How are they going to find you? So I used to do things like I would do readings when I was first starting out, and I was starting out doing one-on-one readings. I didn't have an office. So I would do readings at restaurants and I would do readings at cafes and I would do readings at bookstores. So I would contact the managers of these places where I knew somebody who worked there or I knew the manager themselves. And I'd say, hey, can I come and do tarot readings? And I was just relentless. I just kept doing it and finding places that I could do these things until I started making enough money that I could get an office. And I can remember my very first office, so cute, in Santa Monica, behind my friend's store. It was a tiny little one-room office, so cute. And in that office, I remember when I signed the lease, the rent was $500 a month. And I said, oh, 500, how am I going to make $500 a month? I remember that. But I did it. And once I started having an office, I started advertising on different places. And I started having customers come to me. So you have to be willing to do the other part, which is the businessy part. So it's not just enough to be an amazing Akashic Records reader. You can do that and have it as a side job. Great. But if you want to make it your full-time job, you also have to take on that mantle of being, I've got enough to share with everyone. I've got that. Like, I have to let people know about it. Like, it's like having a banquet and not inviting anyone. You've got to invite people to your banquet. So how are you going to invite people? Another thing I used to do is I used to do readings at like festivals and fairs and markets, which is great too. Oh, I've asked him and that's exactly what he said. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's where he is right now. Thank you for letting me know that. But yeah, for this, I think it's like, do you want to take on being an entrepreneur as well as being an Akashic Records reader? If you just want to do it as a side thing, you don't have to worry about marketing. If you want to do it full time, you have to start putting on your business hat as well as your Akashic Records hat, Akashic Record readers hat. So there you go. All right, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's been so fun to hang out with everyone. Let's see how much we raised for the seniors in Ukraine today. We have it here, but I have not written it down and edited it up. Let's add it up. So that's 60 and 30. Thank you, Adrija. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, M. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, John Paul. Thank you, Vicky. Okay, let's see. We've got 50, 90. 130, 160, 220. 220 we raised today. That feeds for 5.5 seniors. 5.5 seniors we fed this week. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. We did it. Woo woo. All right. Don't forget that we're not meeting again next Wednesday. We'll be meeting on Sundays from now on. So we'll be at Sundays around this time. Same thing, right after the Magical Mystery Marketplace. Magical Mystery Marketplace is our QVC. Thank you for putting that up, Love Witch. Our QVC that we have right after the live magic Q&A. Sunday is a busy day. 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern is when all the fun starts. First is our Zoom meeting, live magic Q&A that we hold over on Zoom. If you need the link to that, sign up at spellsquad.com or, oh, and I want to tell you my tarot classes are starting on October 8th. Got to talk about that. Tarot classes starting October 8th. I do it once a year. I teach 3 5-week sessions, beginning, advanced, and professional. I only do it once a year. So this is the time. If you want to take tarot with me, now is the time to sign up. October 8th is when it starts. Okay. But going on to our Sunday agenda at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when all the fun starts. Over on Zoom, we have our live magic Q&A, which is our private little meeting of the Spell Squad Clubhouse. Happens on Zoom. And if you don't have the link for it, you can get the link by going to spellsquad.com and signing up. Now, after that, we have the Magical Mystery Marketplace. That takes place at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is here, wherever you're watching me now, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. That's where this is, the Magical Mystery Marketplace. This is like Witchy QVC. My colleague, Miss Kelly from the Parlor of Wonders, will be joining me. We'll be talking about the evil eye and all the things that you can do to protect yourself and get the evil eye off of you if the evil eye has been cast on you. Then following that, at approximately 7 to 7:30, we will do this, Tarot for Kindness. So I hope you'll join me this Sunday for all the fun. We're going to have lots of fun. First over on Zoom for an hour, and then right here for all of the witchy QVC of the Magical Mystery Marketplace, and for the Tarot for Kindness. My brain is blanking out. My stomach is growling. I haven't had dinner. I've been up since 5:30. It's time for me to go. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here. Thank you so much for your donations. I'm going to send those off to Yvonne right away. His colleagues will be feeding the seniors because he's in bed sick, but he will be back with us on Sunday. All right, everybody. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you. And we'll see you on Sunday. All right. Bye-bye.